I'm in my 30s right now. My hips are naturally getting tighter. It's just part of getting older. But your age is not locking your hips. Your lifestyle is. You've been sitting at a desk, driving, collapsing on your couch for the last decade. You're paying the ignorance tax. And this is something where you want to change the lifestyle before it gets too late. I was training kickboxing with Coach Alex C twice a week, so Mondays and Fridays. And I'm not even doing kickboxing, I'm doing yoga stretches. So I was paying to train kickboxing, mixed martial arts, but I was using that time to do yoga stretches. And then another moment was in 2024 where I was doing, when I'm in Toronto, I'm training with Coach Malik, private session, and same thing where there was that moment where I was doing a body kick and it was just like, he dropped the pads and he's just doing a front split partner stretch where he's just raising my leg to the shoulder and it was super tight. I was just wobbling the whole time. And then right after that, we were just doing all flexibility stretches and yoga stretches. And this is where I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. And that's where I hired a gymnastics coach that was already in gymnastics classes, not consistently. And that's where I started going to classes consistently, like 3 times a week on just stretches, plus a gymnastics coach to explain this to me and work with him one-on-one once a week. So once I started going to the classes consistently, like let's say this is about May 2024, that's when I started getting better with my end range or my flexibility. I started building strength at the end range. And then I realized it wasn't a flexibility problem. It was a strength problem. It was actually always a strength problem. And this is where my body wasn't old. When you sit 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 10 years, your nervous system adapts. It learns the default position for your hip flexors and basically shortens it as you're not using your hip flexors when you're sitting down at a high capacity. And when you're sitting down, either on the desk or driving, your glutes deactivate, as well as your abductors start becoming weak. This is not aging. This is neurological adaptation to the environment, where if you're, for example, walking to work or doing more of, instead of driving, you're really helping moving your body, activating the glutes, the hamstring, you're moving. That helps a lot more, increases this abductor strength and your hip flexor strength as one example. So your nervous system isn't old, it's doing its job. It's just adapting to the environment. And this is something I had to change the environment, stop driving, doing more walking, do more movement or a standing desk, better setups on a daily basis and not just do 1 or 2 things a week. And this, with the nervous system, it's really protecting you, keeping you safe as you haven't pushed or shown your body, your mind that you're able to go that next level or raise your leg higher than it usually is. You got to train for it and strengthen your muscles and work on isometric holds. Like, for example, the key one for me that worked a lot was the front knee, chest to knee, and then just raising your leg up and keeping your knee to hip waist, so without lowering it. So it's very difficult, but that's one of the key ones that really trains your body so you could really like extend, strengthen the range there. So when you start like going through or working at like body kicks, even head kicks, even though you've been sitting at the desk for years, if not decades, your nervous system right away sees this as a threat because it's never done this, not let alone on a daily basis, but even on a weekly basis, especially for people who have picked up mixed martial arts as an adult, like myself. So it's something I'm not used to, my body's not used to. So like doing even a body kick, it's not normal. Like a low kick was not too bad, but again, getting to a body kick and then let alone to chest level and then head kick, that takes a lot more time, especially if you're not used to it. If you haven't done any sort of mixed martial arts in the past growing up, definitely much different path than the people who have grown up, done karate as a kid and still has that flexibility so they could transition into Muay Thai, for example, or any sort of mixed martial arts. So this protective response from your nervous system is backed by sports science. So let me explain here. It's called protected inhibition. And protected inhibition is your body dials down your muscle output at the end range when it doesn't trust the position. You're not inflexible, you're just not trained there. So you have to work with the exercises on a daily and a weekly basis to get your body used to it. And this is something where I've done like a 10-minute hip flex daily mobility routine in the morning and then warming up before class, plus the strength side of things, which really brings it together and gets your body used to it with the daily mobility, but in addition, the strength, so it could keep that mobility and strengthen the end range, because you got to work on everything with the leg. The good news is, and I've learned from my experience, your body can't unlearn the desk posture, but in order to do that, you have to give it a stronger signal, which is not get used to the sitting at a desk or a car, and actually on a daily movement basis, work on the hip mobility. So doing front leg swings, side swings, continuous kicks in the morning helps a lot. And this will untrain the bad posture and sitting all day at an 8-hour desk. And then eventually you'll have the strength not only to support that range, but have control in that end range. But you don't want to just lean in and just throw a leg kick without chambering it. So like a teep, you want to chamber it and be ready to throw a teep. But if you don't see it fit, you could control it. You want to control the end range and not have it uncontrollable, basically. One of the main shifts that I've done is, so I stopped treating my mobility as a flexibility issue and more as a strength issue, like a gymnastics type of stuff, having the strength in those end ranges. So one of the things I stopped asking was, how do I be more flexible? And more asking, how do I be stronger? How do I have stronger kicks? Like, you could have the yoga flexibility, but you want the mixed martial arts strength. You could be flexible. There's a lot of yoga people who have leg flexibility, but do they have the strong kicks? No, you have to work towards that and you have to build on it. So for me, last year I got a 25-degree hip flexion. I was working full-time with Coach Erdy, who's worked with a lot of different types of people like gymnastics and all different occupations. And he helped me work towards the fundamentals, the foundation, because I was not flexible. And this was part of that was the nervous system. I was sending a signal to my brain that I'm able to now be comfortable doing the hip flexion or comfortable doing body kicks, even chest level height without even thinking about it. Because I've done the work, I've been working on it, and just slowly doing that. The strength training, the flexibility stretches, in addition, working on my Muay Thai 3 times a week. And this is where even my teammate, like for example, John in my Muay Thai class was like, yeah, man, like you're getting those kicks, but also your flexibility work you're doing outside of it, it's really helping. And it really is. To end off, don't let the calendar, don't let your age decide what you can and can't do on the mats in the ring. If you're tired of feeling stiff and tired of scaling back on your training or scaling back on what you want to do and ready for the exact blueprint where you don't have to just, do stretches in class or training or just work on boxing instead of working on leg kicks and Muay Thai tips and body kicks, head kicks on the pads. The next step is in the description. Link is in the description. Take a look at my programs and see if there's something that fits right for you. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. See you in the next video.